Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Anything Goes with Anna Rose. As promised, I have the incredible Coco back on the podcast.
Hello.
Guys, we literally stopped recording last episode, walked out, did a wee.
Changed our tops.
And we've walked straight back in to get stuck back into the conversation, which I'm so excited to have. And now this is where I really want to get into the guts of this wealth creation, essentially, because it is, we've done it.
Yeah.
You've done it multiple times. Like you've built, lost, as we all just learned. I feel like we laugh, but if we don't laugh, we'll cry.
Legit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you've built inordinate wealth, lost it, and then done it again and again and again. So when there's a woman that sits across from me that has done that, I want to know like how and why we got that. I just fundamentally believe on the last episode, like you can pull so much from that story. You can pull the lessons. You can.
So much.
And now, and this is what I'm so passionate about with you, you are so smart with this economic cycle conversation that you have, and you you always talk about it on your stories.
I try to, yeah.
You're doing it so good, and please never stop, because we, especially women, the money in the hands of women changes the world, right? And so you were such a stand for that. And I'd heard about it. I was in politics, right? You hear about economic cycles, but you just know it like you know how to breathe. So this is what I want to talk about on this episode, because we'll pull it apart as we go.
Yeah.
But can you please explain, because I can guarantee majority of us probably still don't even know what that is. Mm-hmm. Can you explain what is an economic cycle? Mm-hmm. And we'll go from there.
So firstly, I learn from a lot of people. So like if you're into human design, I'm not a line one, right? So I'm not an investigator. I don't care about detail. So
what's your line? I know like HD girls are going to be like, what's it?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a 2-4. I'm a emotional generator 2-4.
Okay.
So
there you go, HD girls.
Yeah. So 2 is a hermit, 4 is an opportunist, which means I'm not a salesperson. I get all my opportunities through my network, which is, when I found that out, was mind-bending and actually revolutionized my businesses in the way that I showed up and in the way that I did sales. Anyway, we're not a human design podcast. But so why I shared that, though, is very important, because whilst it seems as though I know a lot, I actually love to piggyback off the people that are line ones, and I actually make sure that I always have line ones in my team.
Wow.
Because I need people who know detail, because I'm not detailed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very important. So while you are listening to this, write down Mr. Phil Anderson, Mr. Akhil Patel, A-K-H-I-L Patel, and there's a few others which we'll put in the show notes, but those two guys are fundamental in my learning everything that I know today.
Wow.
And I will always credit those people, because I do not have the attention span to dive into the decades of research that they have done. And, not just those people, there's a ton of other people that I've learnt from, but I have been studying the economic cycle for about 15 years now. And it all started when I purchased my first property in 2005 or 2006. And that was like very close to when the GFC happened.
Yeah, 2008 was the GFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there are many different cycles. This one has been, this one that I particularly share a lot about and talk about, it lasts about 18.6 years. Now, for anyone that is a line one and that's going to ask me, what's the 0.6 years for?
I'm shocked I'm not a line one. I was like, what's the point?
That's what I said to you. You're a 1-3 the other day. Just
no,
today.
I'm a 3-5, guys.
Yeah. I literally thought you were a 1-3. Anyway, we like the 18.6 years is an average of the last 400 years.
Right.
Yeah. So it's 18 to 19, right?
So can I, sorry.
No, go.
I said to Coco, I was like, I'm going to ask so many questions on this one, because I want to learn more as well. So 18.6 years in the last 400 years, amazing. Are we so it's an 18.6 year cycle?
Yes, so it's 14 years up, 4 years down, 4 to 5 years down. So if you look at, we can ever only look at the past, and history repeats, and
patterns, baby.
I hate to say it, but like humans, we are so dumb. Like we have the memory of a goldfish. Most of us like, oh my God, I making so much money. It's like 5 years ago you were sitting on your couch like nearly slicing your wrist because you didn't know how you're going to make money.
Yeah.
Like, have you forgotten? You know, so I am harsh when I talk about this stuff, by the way.
Like, yeah, but I love it. I love it. And you need to be.
And if you're listening, you're like, this bitch, like it's okay. It's just because I've experienced so much, and I really stand by this.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the GFC, 2008 was when it hit.
Yeah.
But then recovery started around 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to see my masterclasses on all this, actually, Anna has everything in Tor Collective. So if you buy one of her NFTs, you can actually access all of mine. I've got charts where I talk about what happened in those years so that you can relate to it, because a lot of us were around then and we can relate to those things. I don't have time here to do that.
No.
So that's the recovery. So for us, because the 18-point years, we're at the end of the 14 years.
I was just about to ask, where are we?
2026.
Right.
So that's why I always talk about, and people say, oh, you're fear-mongering. And I'm like, I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just talking truth.
Yeah.
And, you know, the end of the 14 years up is coming up. Now, typically, the US goes first.
Yeah.
Then the UK, Europe, and then we come last. So we're typically 12 to 24 months behind the US. So based on this 18.6 years, the end of 2026 is when the bloodbath, as I like to call it, will hit, and we will experience, now to add a layer to this. Now, I call it the economic cycle to make it more palatable to everyone. Phil calls it the real estate cycle.
Okay.
And the reason he calls it the real estate cycle, and I don't call it the real estate cycle because I don't go in depth like he does, and I don't want people to get confused.
Right.
So I call it the economic cycle, but Phil actually calls it the real estate cycle, and that's because he teaches that land is everything, and land is the one thing that governments control and that control the economy. Go and buy his book. I just literally did a giveaway.
I'll link it.
Yeah, I just did a giveaway like 2 weeks ago, and I want to do more giveaways like that for those books, because, you know, Phil's book, it's a Bible. I read it twice a year, and it is about $90. It's an investment.
Wow.
It's an investment. Achilles is slightly cheaper. But essentially what's happening this cycle, which is going to be like mind-bendingly, crazily intense, and I share this with you guys, I want you to prepare.
Yeah, can I just say, actually, like
it's very important.
I want to context this up for you, because so you don't feel like you have to almost like not apologize, but like
I am
continue to give.
I'm like,
I want people to know that I said I'm in a wealth building strategy. I know this is coming.
Yes.
I know to stack cash. Right, I
Correct.
think.
No,
there we
totally,
go. Right, because
totally.
Coco says so. No, and economics. Right. So
Yeah.
I am being very careful, and I thought, fuck, I don't know if other people are aware of this.
Really scary.
And even if we're wrong, poor me, I have lots of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh my gosh,
but
I
we
stacked
will
some
not
cash.
be wrong because
The history repeats itself.
So
but
the
I want to say,
layers,
so Coco's going to go. She's going to go hard.
I'm gonna go hard,
She's
yeah.
going to explain things. It is not fear-mongering. It is not false. It's taken from historic data. It is what it is, and I wanted
Let's
to
be
bring her
prepared.
on to talk about this
Let's be
because, like
prepared.
I said, I want to make sure that there's no gatekeeping, and this is a fucking enormous thing that's coming.
Well, and this is stuff that, you know, like even this week I read, I don't even remember their names. There was like 3 people, and they're like, is there something we don't know because these 3 people have just cashed out of all this stuff? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. There's a lot of liquidity in the market right now. It's interesting.
A lot.
The big boys are playing.
And so this time in the market, I'm going to be jumping around a little
Yeah,
bit, but this
go.
time in the market is called the winner's curse. And the reason it's called the winner's curse is because everyone is winning.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets that what comes up
must come down. We're definitely in a bull run. So if anyone knows markets in general, like I'm obviously crypto and shares myself, but yeah, it's been fun to watch on paper. I hold, I don't pull. So yeah, I said to Ryan, like my portfolio jumped like 300,000 in a minute, and I said to Ryan, yeah, but it's on. He goes, do you feel rich? I said no, because it's on paper.
Yeah, until you liquidate.
Until you liquidate.
Yeah.
So for me, but yes, so it's like the market is up right now.
So this is the time where you do not do things because Anna just made $300,000.
Yeah, well, that's
because
context is.
I
also
know, but that's what people say.
beautiful.
I listened to this podcast,
Yeah,
and she said because context.
Yeah.
And so, there's all these like crypto bros. I'm not against any asset class, by the way. I just say this to prove a point.
Yeah, beautiful.
There are crypto bros being like, I just made 24,000 overnight. And I'm like, yeah, because it's this time in the market.
Yeah.
I had someone else this week call me, and people talk to me about this because they know I love it and I can't shut up. But another girlfriend was like, oh, my friend just got told by the banks that she could borrow 100%. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. It's this time in the market.
Interesting.
And so if you look at how the GFC happened, the last one, and I know the others were not called GFCs, but they pretty much were, is because credit was loosened. People got access to all this money. Look, guys, you just have to look at the debt that Australia, the UK, and the US in. Did you know that the US is in debt by I think it was 300 trillion or something? It's something ridiculous. Yeah. How we think that this can continue is absolutely ridiculous. And so when you put all of that together, you cannot not ignore it. And so the other thing that's happening, and again, not fear-mongering, just a fact, is that every 100 years we have a Great Depression.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so how many years off are we?
We have 4 cycles converging in one. When I say it's going to be a bloodbath, it's going to be a bloodbath. And again, just be ready. So for me, I'm reducing my debt, and I say these 3 things every time. Reduce your debt. If you have debt that's making you money, how can you make sure that income stream is rock solid? What can you do to be a part of your competitors? What can you do? And I don't believe that aside from, trades, especially potentially in Australia, if you're in a different country, I still think domestic plumbers, domestic electricians, we still need all that. The world of AI is coming. That's another cycle. It's here, but it's converging all to be together, and how that's going to change so many things.
Well, Atlassian, I think, just laid off laid off a huge amount of employees, 100 plus something, and just told the truth and said, I'm sorry guys, your jobs have been replaced with AI.
Yep.
But then it was an interesting conversation, because they were saying the more jobs that are laid off in Australia anyway with AI, the government very heavily relies on taxation here, and so there's that income tax gone.
Why do we think all this new taxes are coming in?
Yeah, so interesting. You're just so
the timing.
You're just so knowing. You're
the timing is just
interesting.
So yeah, guys, if you're out there buying brand new cars on loans, if you're looking to buy your first house, do all the things. I always say, and actually my girlfriend is the one that told me this, so this is a borrowed saying, but she always reminds me, we have our own life cycle within the cycle. And I just love that, because it's such a great reminder that we still have to live our life. And when I share about the cycle, and this is why I get really scared, for lack of a better word, to share about it, is because I know that people then stop and they freeze and they don't do anything, and it stops them from making any decisions. Continue to do your life. Continue to go via your vision and your plan. Just be mindful that for me, I'm not investing at all at the moment. I'm cash banking, because it's the winner's curse. I used to trade 7 figures on the market. I don't have anything but I wasn't holding, right? I was trading.
Yeah, okay.
So different. Again, just for context, so people don't take that the wrong way. Because remember, in every class of investment, there are many streams of, so if you're doing property, you can buy and hold, you can flip, you can renovate and hold, just like trading. Okay. Yeah. So I just want to make that very clear. If you have any questions, by the way, about anything I've said on this podcast, so you don't take it out of context, DM me and I'll clarify and give more context.
Well, they're just going to come and DM you now and be like, tell me more, which I love. No, so with an economic cycle, and is it that that's not basic. I would never. So I was is it that basic? In the sense that an economic cycle comes every 18.6 years. Mm-hmm. For 14 years, did you say?
14 years up. 4 to 5 down. 4 to 5, 4.6, but let's call it 4 to 5 years down.
We are at the end
we're at year 13.
Which makes so much sense, because I'm the markets are hot.
COVID was there's always a mid-cycle slowdown. That was the mid-cycle slowdown.
Interesting.
Yeah, where to give the economy a last boost to go for that bull run, the governments have to intervene to print money. Right. And so we knew something was coming. We just didn't know what it was going to look like.
Right. So because you study it and you love it, you at that time, were you even saying like, oh, something? I think you were. You always call shit.
Yeah.
Coco, this is what I mean when I say Coco was like psychic, but I know you're not because you just know.
I'm not psychic.
No.
But I know what you mean, yeah.
You will go, like right now, Coco's saying, like you're saying, like, oh, we're coming to the end of 2026, like,
that's going to be the US, and you can already see the US is crack. Like the cracks are happening.
Well, they're actually saying, I was listening to some, like I'm hungry for information at the moment. So I was listening to another amazing podcast, and they were saying how they think it's very speculative, but they said America has tried to, I can't remember, innovate their way out of their debt. They have tried to negotiate their way out of the debt, whatever. They have tried to blah, 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 blah. And they said the last, and this was coming from a very like clever economist, he said they just have to print cash now. That he's like, they're going to print their way out of this, and that's imminent. Yeah.
Well, you think the converging cycles, there's the K wave, which is a 40-year cycle. Like,
what's the K wave?
It's again a 40-year cycle. So you've got four. I forget the fourth one. Anyway, it's in my masterclass, but they're all converging.
Has that ever happened before? 4 cycles converging at once? Wow.
And I speak, like my close friend Amelia, who's into human design, she's also sharing with me. So we share a lot because Phil and Akil are actually traders, and traders, they're technical traders. So when you trade, you can be a fundamental trader or a technical analyst. And essentially technical trading, there's no wrong or right way, but technical I prefer because it's based on historical data. Mm-hmm. Whereas fundamental analysis is about what's happening in the emotions of the people. That's not my thing.
No.
So and again, you choose you do you. They're both okay. But essentially, where was I going with this about Phil and Akil being technical analysts?
So traders, you said?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Traders that do technical analysis look a lot to astrology.
Interesting.
Now, I know some people like, oh, that shit's not real. But when we have, say, like something happens in the skies, there will be a significant trading date. Wow. And so Phil will say, like, okay, this upcoming year, he'll say, like, the astrology states this is, or even the solstice. Every time on the 21st of June, if you start noticing all these things I'm saying now, you'll start noticing 21st of June, 21st of December, always something happens in the markets.
Really?
Yep.
So I'm gonna put that in my diary.
It's literally like it's a thing. And so he says these are the key dates in astrology, watch the markets.
Yeah, wow.
And so Amy, coming back to Amy, she was telling me that Ra, who is the founder of, like, the creator of human design, said that in 2027, now you can't make this up, in 2027, there's going to be a massive shift, and I'll do it justice. Amy's a line one. Sorry, Amy. There's going to be a massive shift in humanity and the way that we see the world and feel and who we are. And I'm like, well, of course it's 2027. Like, so
because that's when all 4 cycles converge. We've never had it in the world before. It's almost going to like wipe us out, and we are born again almost.
Well, I mean, the way that we see the world will be different. AI is going to change everything. Yeah. They're talking about the universal income coming in.
I opt out of that.
I know. Hopefully we can opt out, but I'm not sure, right? Yeah. And so there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
And so please just don't bury your head in the sand. That's all I ask. That's it.
If say someone though, yes, and say someone is listening to this though, and you need to hear it. I think, would you rather know something is coming? And again, I get it now. I get why you're so like you give context, because I'm already starting to, because I even come from an empowered place in that I'm like, cool, if anything happens and the world doesn't, but I'm metaphorically, metaphorically, then also like have good people around you. Like, I think if that's nothing else, like, who's your inner circle right now? But say they're at home and they are single and or partnered, but they are that family who are struggling right now in Australia, which is majority, who are living week to week, who are on one income, who are debted to their eyeballs and have credit cards. Yeah. I mean, I know we can't answer that really.
No,
but
I can give tips.
Like what and they're hearing this for the first time, which is really powerful and beautiful, because it's like, wow, you've just been taught something about our historic economic cycles, which it's just history. What can they do to feel even slightly more empowered?
Get more income. Now, what does that look like? Because sometimes there's not much you can do about your debt.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can manage your debt is by more income. Now, when I say that to people, the next question always is
how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's two things. When you are, and you're going to hate this answer, but it is what it is. When you ask someone how, you are in here. You are trying to solve a problem that has never been conceptualized in your reality. And so even if the person gave you the how, you would never be able to grasp it because it's not real for you, because you haven't lived it. The second thing is, I will answer it, and typically when someone DMs me, anyone who's been in my world for a long time knows that they don't ask me how. And so now people craft some very interesting questions with other words, and I laugh because I think, good for you, you heard me.
Well, you're still asking me how.
Well, they'll be like, what do I do if, you know? But look, the how is, firstly, do you believe that you can make more money? Like, do you believe that you deserve it? You know, I'm an investor in another company, and I remember saying to the founder a few years ago, like, this company is on you, and right now your mindset will mean that this company will fail.
Wow.
And that like, as a major investor in this company, there's nothing else I can do right now. Even if I pull all the strings, even if I give you the best marketing budget, even if I do all the things, this will not go anywhere because of you. Like, you are not ready to have the money, to have the free, like, you love the story of, like, I'm lathering myself in the drama of not having money. And I'm sorry if that offends you. I say that, one, because it's true, and two, because I've been there.
Yeah. We've lived those lives. Yeah.
And so how do you get more income? Well, become a cleaner. I'm dying for cleaners. Do you know domestic cleaners?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So people don't get this, right? So as you're talking, all I think about is my mum. Because my mum was a single mum of five of us. Like, we were.
That's mind-bending.
From when I was 15. So we fled my violent stepfather when I was 15.
But you're in the middle, right?
I'm second last. There's 5 of us.
Still, that's intense.
Yeah, and then but we were all still fucking completely dependent on mum.
Yeah, like that takes balls.
We were absolutely.
Oh, she's got big ones.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't. She says, and it was actually recently. It was very validating. She was like, oh, I knew, like, she came home and I was getting, like, I was blacked out, and he was, like, punching me blacked out. So she was like, I had to go. Like, we had to go. Choice. Thank God. So we did, but she was on welfare, yes, and worked, and then we needed more money. So that woman stacked shelves overnight in a supermarket. And I say this, if you've done self-love school, you have heard this, like, many times when I say, it's so validating for me to hear you say this, because I will say to women, get a job.
Yeah.
How amazing, get a job. What a gift. You can go work. And they're like, what job? Any job. Clean. Do you know? Stack a shelf. There's no shame in that.
AI will not take over stacking shelves.
Correct.
Let me tell you, they will not take over cleaners. They will not take over. Go and be an electrician apprentice for 4 years and earn a fuck ton of money. Like, and even in regional towns. So the whole, if you listen to the last episode, I've got a childcare brand now, but we are purely focused on regional, because regional areas in Australia are underserviced.
Yeah, big time.
And so you want a better life? Go regionally. Housing is cheaper. Food and petrol are slightly more expensive, but there is an abundance of jobs.
Yeah, people are screaming.
All hours, because there are not enough people. Yeah. And life is better. The community is better. It's cheaper. Yeah, you don't get to be next to the beach, but, like, you know, even me as an owner of a commercial cleaning company, I have to pay cleaners more on the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast because, oh, well, we want lifestyle and I'm like, you're on the fucking bones of your ass. Fuck you. Like, go and just clean for the same price that the Brisbaneites are getting. The cost of living is the same.
Yeah. Coco, like, always will share how, like, you struggle with staffing, which blows my mind, because I'm like, but everyone's saying they can't fucking afford to live. Why aren't they working?
I can't.
Why are they working?
Like,
but if you want a job, like, Coco is genuinely, like, you always are hiring.
Oh my God, I'm hiring chefs and cooks and educators and, you know, like I don't have enough stuff. I'm sponsoring people to stay in Australia. It costs me hundreds of thousands of dollars that I can't put in my back pocket because I need to sponsor people because no offense.
Australians don't want to work. Australians don't want to work. No, I know. And then this is the, like with all due respect, like, because if you're listening to this, it's not you. Because realistically, you're listening to this because you want to do better, have more, be better, 100%. But that is just the fact of the matter.
And I say this like majority, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, in the last less than 6 months, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars sponsoring 10 people to go to one of my regional centres.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, fucking surely I know someone that wants to clean, but it's like you don't. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But this is so important because it's like Stat Cash, where literally you are giving people, I think, the keys to the kingdom, myself included, in sharing your wisdom on economic cycles or real estate cycles, but economic cycles. We know at the end of 2026, the end is nigh.
Around
thereabouts. US first.
Yeah.
Us to follow. I do think though, I don't know why.
Tell me.
But I think, right? That I think if 4 events are converging, if 4 cycles are converging at one time, I do think it will be quicker.
I hope so.
I think, no, in the sense that, like, I don't think we'll wait.
As in,
Australia will wait.
The only thing that will, if you are Australian, if you're not, I apologise because I should say, everything I'm sharing right now is macro. So that means it's a helicopter view of the world. Now, every single city and, like, it has nuances. Some people have more gas. Some people have mining. Like, everything is different. Now, one thing that will save Southeast Queensland, not all industries, is the Olympics. And it is known, it is a known fact, even through the study of the economic cycle with Phil and Akil, is that any city that has an Olympic Games, and that's why when I still remember I was going through all my shit and the Olympics got confirmed for Brisbane and I was like, motherfuckers. I was so angry. I was like, and this is why everything is happening in Southeast Queensland.
Yeah.
So because even though it's going to get hit, but what's going to happen is the government's going to go, holy shit, we need to pump money into this to build the infrastructure for the Olympics.
Yeah, true.
So there will be industries.
Nuances.
Like, it will be, construction will be okay. You know, like trades will be okay, but I still think that a lot of, you know.
Oh, but on the macro level, like that's amazing for the micro, but on the macro level, the world is going to hurt.
Yeah, like people
markets
still
will
hurt
crash.
in the GFC. I mean, Australia was saved by the commodities, but I don't believe commodities will save Australia this time. The only thing that will save Southeast Queensland is the Olympics, but I do think, and so I have to say this also, whilst it sounds doom and gloom, if you are prepared, if you have stash cash, there are more multimillionaires. And now I also want you guys to don't stop thinking in millions. You need to start to think in deca millions because millions is nothing now. Like you cannot get, you can wipe your ass with toilet paper for $1 million. Like if you're like, my goal is to get $1 million, I'm sorry, love, it should be 10 million.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids in our generation, I'm nearly 40, you know, that was a thing. Now, $1 million is nothing. 5 million, okay, you're all right. You need to aim for deca. Deca millions being tens of millions. That, and sorry if I'm scaring you, but like that's the equivalent of what 1 million was 20 years ago.
Yeah. They know that. I feel like people cannot get ahead right now.
No.
Like it's hard. Like it's hard for people, right? And I mean like not average, but like the majority of Australians, if we walked out and we walked to James Street and people were honest and we asked them like, how are you going? How are you feeling? Can you afford? Right? It would be, and if the truth, most are hurting.
I see a donut for $8 in a cafe. Like it's not having a go at the cafe owner. They need to make a quid.
Correct.
But like $8, who's going to buy an $8 donut?
I paid like $9.40 or something the other day, and I was like,
for a donut?
Oh wow, no, for a fucking coffee.
Yeah, that's I have money, and I wouldn't.
And
like that's ridiculous.
Decaf.
Oh my god.
So it wasn't even caffeinated.
That's ridiculous.
But it's hurting. So I just feel like. Well, what you're going to say, not all doom and gloom. I know where you're going with that. Is more millionaires made
during like the bottom, those that are ready. So if you listen, if you're cashed up, this may still affect you, but then what happens is that you can jump on, and yes, it sounds bad, but you can jump on opportunities. There might be someone that mismanaged their business, but still has a great business. but you will be able to buy for cents in the dollar because they didn't plan and you did.
Correct. That's not like, people can't be like, you're taking advantage. No, because you.
But this is the Australian way of thinking of everything.
But like, you help them because they are selling it and they're desperate for a buyer and you're a buyer. Like, poor me, poor them. No, like, yeah.
It's the society we live in. And until if you had that reaction, that is the first step and that is the first piece of work you need to do before you do anything else. Yeah.
That's such a powerful actual example. All right, I was thinking as you were talking, I was like, all right, we've focused very much on the end of the cycle, which is we need to because it's nigh. However, when we take a look at the macro of 18.6 years, are there other moments in the cycle that are definitive? Like what happens at the start of a cycle?
Totally.
What happens in the middle of a cycle?
Yeah. So obviously, let's say after let's say you've got the 14 years, then you've got the 5 years. So towards the end of the 14 years, you will see, and I'll talk to that now because it's important because we're in
here.
it. So I talk about this all the time. You'll see cranes everywhere. And cranes are an indication of the end of the cycle. You'll see in
really?
Yeah, because it's the winner's curse.
Yeah, there's money. Because I always say cranes in the sky is money.
Yes.
There's construction and development.
It's a false sense of security.
In a city.
And then you'll hear headlines all around the world like, we are building the biggest and baddest. You know, you look at Q1, we're on the Gold Coast here. Q1 was done before the GFC. Right. They were going to be the biggest southern hemisphere tower. And so you look now, there's some Phil calls it the biggest and bestest, like in Dubai, like there's stuff all over the world. And it's always this time in the cycle. In the last 5 years, people are making these massive claims. That's always this time in the cycle. Then when we are in the last 4 to 5 years of the cycle, like the downtrend, that's when banks start to be like, I'm not lending. Like, so you can't borrow money as easily. Construction companies are like absolutely decimated, and so are other businesses, but that's the thing that we can see. So I'm sharing the things that we can see.
Yeah, so it's obvious. Yeah.
So it's obvious. What we will see in this time, because every cycle has its thing, e-commerce boomed after COVID, and we are already sadly seeing many e-commerce brands shutting down because the demand is not where it was. And so we're going to see a lot of those brands. You may even be seeing a lot of influencer brands not doing very well.
Four just shut on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Chloe Zepp, Ashley Bynes, Lauren Simpson, all phenomenal girls. I love them. Follow them. And then who was the fourth? There's a fourth. Oh, it's a huge one. It's not an influencer. It was I won't even guess which. I can't remember the name, but it was an
but it's happening, right?
company.
So there's already we can already start to see it.
Yeah.
You're going to see buildings all of a sudden, like the rise of the unions and the cost of labour. Like in the city and Southeast Queensland, you've got apprentices of all trades getting paid close to $200,000 a year, plus super, plus. Like that is not sustainable. And so slowly in that 4 to 5 year downtrend, we're going to see buildings that have just been abandoned. We're going to see obviously the rise of AI, but and we don't know, right? This is just based on history. Yeah. But lending stops. People who have cash jump on opportunities and are able to build, for me, I look at cleaning. I have to be careful because whilst AI is not going to take me over, what type of clientele do I have that's going to be able to weather the storm? Right? Because that's how I lost 60% of my business originally in COVID. So, these are all the things that you have to think about. Things might be good now. People always say to me, oh, Caroline, things are fine now. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point.
Because we're literally in the winner's curse.
We're literally.
Yep. Which I feel, I'm like, 100%.
So then as we come back to answer your question, as we come back into year 1, year 2, we start to see activity. So if you look at, and I know because I was in the market at the time, around 2012 is when building. So if you want to build, because
then that was the beginning
so if
of
you
the
want
cycle.
to build even for me, I have one childcare that I still haven't been able to build, and they're quoting me ridiculous amounts, and I'm like, I'm just going to wait a couple of years because soon you're going to need to give work to your trades. I'm in no hurry. Remember I said in the last episode, take your time, and I've learned that. I know that the demand is not going anywhere. and I don't want to fall flat on my face for a third time. I'm not going again. I've learnt my lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, I've got no ceiling now, you know, like I'm going. And so I'm not saying to wait either, but if the right price comes now, I'll do it.
Correct. I was going to say no, but that's a smart strategic.
It's strategic, correct. It's long-term.
Decision, correct.
Yeah.
It's not like you're waiting out of fear. You're like,
correct.
you know what, I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, like if I can save $3 million, like it's a $10 million build, okay? Like if I can save $3 million, I'll save $3 million, you know? Yes, there's cash flow, but anyway, that's a different conversation. One day I'll pull apart the deal. So then when the first 5 years is when there's buy confidence again.
Right.
The banks start to loosen slowly. They start to loosen the reins, start to give money back again. People are starting, there's new things that pop up. People start to get jobs again. People, you know, and so that, and so
which makes sense. Like the first part of a new cycle after a drop is growth, or like
if you think of like a forest burning, what happens? You know, it's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like
saplings come through.
Exactly.
All right, so then we hit that, confidence is back, market confidence would pick up, I would imagine, and then say, well, we don't need to go kind of like the middle bit, but then between this, but then the middle, is that where you were saying?
There's a mid-cycle slowdown every time.
Mid-cycle slowdown?
Yeah.
It was that convert? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And so you were saying that. You were like, obviously we're hitting at the time, you would have been like, we're hitting
I knew. I was
mid-cycle,
like, oh my
so
God.
something's going to happen.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, this, because I studied it. And so I was like, if I don't get these townhouses sold in the next 6 months, we're fucked. Like, and we were fucked. And so, you know, again, if you have no context, go back to the last episode. But, yeah, we were fucked. And then I was like, well, in 2 years' time, we'll be okay. And we were okay. Like, it's just knowing this, it doesn't give you a crystal ball, but it kind of feels like a crystal ball because
confidence, I think.
It gives me confidence. And I know that everything that goes up must come down and vice versa. So, you know, they say that, I don't know if you guys have ever heard about voids, but it talks about voids. And so, you know, the biggest void that you've made, so I lost like, you know, let's call it 10 mil, you know, that's a void that I'm going to fill. So there's no doubt in my mind that at some point in time, maybe I'll be 80, maybe I'll be 90, maybe I'll be 42. I don't know. But there's no doubt in my mind that at one point, and I'm very close to it now, but I will fill that void. And so for me, it's like, you know, like it's deca millions for me because of the void. So it's like, don't be scared of failing because it allows you to create that.
I think I know I loved how so beautifully you just chose to be like right at the start of the last episode, you were like, I think if I just had to give it one word, it was like intuition. Yeah. I almost feel like that's it for this one. It's like whatever's coming, whatever has been will be, whatever we are in, it is. Yeah. And whatever is coming will come. Yeah. Right? The expectation thing we talked about off camera, realistically. But it's like, don't fear what is coming.
No,
don't fear the failure that you may endure within it, but make sure you're prepared.
Yes.
And that I love that. I'm like, it is just cycles. It's like, it's nature. As you were talking when you said it's like the fire, and I was like, do you know what? An 18.6 year cycle is the 4 seasons. Almost.
It is.
In essence.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so then after that mid-year cycle, that's all right, because you said, because it was only a few years, and then everything went kaboom after COVID in reality.
Of government injection, yeah.
And is that what happens? Is that kind of the next little bit of that cycle? Is that, and shortly thereafter?
You mean after COVID?
After a mid-cycle.
Yes, and then the bull run happens.
Right.
Yeah, so the mid-cycle kind of, you know, everything's going well, and then there's a little bleep just to remind us we're human. Yeah. Don't forget, what goes up might come down. Yeah. We're just giving you a little feather, you know.
Right, and that's kind of it, right? Because it's like we've hurt, but we're at the end of that cycle. So we're in it for 4. We're in it for 4-ish years.
Hold on, strap your seatbelts
Strap in, bitches. And then we come out of it. Yeah. We take a breath. Spring returns.
But we forget.
Right? Spring is returned.
That's what drives me insane.
And then it's like jobs start, okay, it's going good. It's okay. And then
I even had to remind my father, you know, like people who are older than me, I'm like, I have to shake them sometimes because I'm like, you've lived through this more than me. Yeah. But when you have no awareness, and he was like, yeah, I traded this and da. He's like, I made this and I'm like, good, Dad, don't get cocky. And he laughed because he knew what I meant. Yeah. I was like, remember where we're in, like, because they're about to retire. If he fucks up and doesn't listen to the strategy, and this is what concerns me the most, is that we have the most number of aging population we've ever had in the world.
Yeah, huge problem.
Huge problem. By the time we retire, there will never be a pension. I'm talking Australia, but I think for most Western countries.
Yeah.
And so then how are we going to hold that many retirees? We will not be able to. So I'm really interested to see how this will go. But I'm reminding my dad, don't get cocky. Like, sell out of everything because, you know, you can hold. You've got another 30 years.
Yeah.
He does not.
No. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so then, and then it kind of, that's it. That's sort of the cycle then.
That's it.
That's the cycle because then we're reminded, bang, mid-year cycle.
Yeah.
To hurt us, to remind us a little bit. Then a bull run, which would have been 2017.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, because I was like
small,
Oh, well then where? No, wait. Yeah, so the last.
No, so the mid-cycle was COVID, so 2020.
Yeah.
But there was, I can speak, since 2012 to 2018. Like, I was in property.
No, we had a bull run 2021. 2021 was the bull run.
It was during COVID.
Yeah, it was fucking during COVID. I remember that. Yeah. I've done 3 bull runs. I've like lived with a portfolio.
Yeah.
I've like held through 3 bull runs. So it's like, and now there's just, But I'm like,
so there'll be correction. But people always say to me, oh, should I just buy after? And I just say, well, if you actually, and this is where technical analysis is different to fundamental, is you look at the chart. Okay, just go to Google, okay? Write in Google and go, I don't know, AUD or like even just take a share, BHP shares, I don't know.
Yeah.
And put like 50 years and see how the chart is. Okay, now I'm not going to teach you how to read charts right now, but you will see there's a correction.
Always.
And a correction is when it goes down. But the correction never goes back to what it was 50 years ago.
I was going to say, shares always go to the right and up with corrections, beautiful corrections along the way, which always have to happen because what comes up does go down. So then, so that is literally, this is so powerful because I'm like, that is the playbook. Because I'm like, the bull run, I was sitting here I'm like, when was the last bull run? And I was like, 2021.
Yeah.
Which was straight after the mid-year cycle.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, we're back in a bull run. But it's like, it's a different bull run.
But it's chaotic.
It's ridiculous.
And that's what happens towards the end.
It's unpredictable.
And Trump doesn't help.
No.
I mean, I'm very neutral about him. But I just mean like, the way he is, and he's very grandiose about the things that he's done. He'll be an interesting one to watch, actually.
He's very crypto positive also.
Yes.
But I know when I speak about markets, bull run, it's in shares as well right now, but it's like, but he is very crypto positive,
so
legislatively as well.
Funnily enough, I don't know if we have time, but just quickly on Trump, I want you guys to watch this because Trump, in early 90s when we had the end of the 18.6-year cycle, he was 900 million down and he managed to get himself out of it. Then we had the GFC, 2008, same thing. So it'll be really interesting to see how he pulls himself out of this one, if anything happens. But he's making such bold moves that I'm like, surely. Or is it like, you know, lucky number 3 and he doesn't have to learn his lesson again. But he's very bold. So I'm watching like from that lens. Yeah, I'm really interested to see. And it's funny because my partner and I talk about it all the time. He's like, he's Trump now. He's been the president twice. He's got connections. He ain't fallen, you know. But I'm like, well, we never know.
You never know.
You know, I don't know if you guys have heard the saying, the pride before the fall. Like the cockier you get, the world will humble you. And I just wonder if this will be a big wake-up call and a big humbling for him.
I feel like that was probably the last. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, let's watch.
No, it is fun. You know what? Because I think education is power. Education is power. Yeah. So it is really cool to sit back and go, even for me, and the only reason why I said I'm stacking cash right at the front was because I've heard you say that on your stories. I was not privy or aware or conscious or following the economic cycle until I met you and you've really arced up, which I love.
I've arced up because I feel like I feel like now people are listening.
Yeah, they are.
And it's fucked.
Because we're near the end.
Yes, and it's fucked that you guys have to hurt to listen.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like I'm going to get in my DMs, I feel like I don't have enough time, right? I know it's coming. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been talking about it for
Well, do you know what I do find interesting? You said Talk Collective, but it's in the Awakened Woman. So in the hub, so when Coco had a not masterclass, but like a fucking
I had a
library.
Because my intention is for women to be more comfortable to talk about money and to learn about these things like we do, like it's normal, like we talk about your tampons and your pads, right?
Yeah.
And so when I decided that it wasn't something that I was enjoying anymore, it wasn't bringing me joy, I had so much content, and I approached Anna and I said, Anna, this library is gold. Can I
worth
give
hundreds
this?
of millions of dollars. Like, it's wild. And you gifted it to me.
I did, yeah.
And then I said, I know exactly where it's going. It's going in the Awaken Woman Hub, which is exactly what the Awaken Woman Hub was created for, which is connected to the NFT. So it's just, I find it funny because I could guarantee as well, even though it was updated, not everything, because I was like, I want to give it in chunks, that's in there. So I'm like, and then also your business basics is in there. Like, there's so much already in there. There's more that I'm going to put. I'm going to put it all in there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this information was there for them anyway.
Oh my
but
God,
I'm like,
it's
I
worth
wonder
$10 million.
I wonder
that's
if
how much I've lost.
That's what I mean. And I'm like, I wonder if like the tour holders, those queens have even, and this is my community, so I'm like, I'm speaking to them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
guys,
have they even freaking bothered? Like, that's the crazy thing, that this information is there and it's available.
Do you know what? Like, I'm constantly doing posts and saying like, comment here and get this masterclass. Like these masterclasses, and I get flooded. Like, so many people want the link, and then literally
no one gets on.
No one watches. And like, I'm not selling anything. All you have to just put your email address. I send no emails, like maybe 2 a year. Like, I have zero ulterior motives.
I was going to say, because Coco, she doesn't need your money, sis.
I don't need the money.
No, but
like, I'm genuine.
That's not
this is my way to give back.
Correct. I was going to say, no, I say that jokingly in this because you don't, but also because that's not how you build your wealth. No. You build your wealth through like property, childcare centres and Deca Millions, not because she is doing a free masterclass to sell something to a woman on the internet.
I actually hate that this stuff has to be paid for. I mean, I've paid for it. And I paid to learn from Phil and Akil and all that, and so I should, because they're like decades worth. But I just want this to be available. And what is mind-bending to me is I still give it for free and no one bloody watches it.
But this is why I wanted to bring you on, and this is why I wanted to do this episode, but why I knew that we had to do 2, because you are so knowledgeable and you are such a brilliant voice and force in this conversation. But I wanted women to go, because like, I sit here now and this is our normal conversation.
It's
Deca Millions. But like, you know, we talk for whatever, 40 minutes up as mates up there. And there was a lot that we were like, that can't go on the podcast. That can't go on the podcast. That can't go on the podcast. Right? But what can is what's safe, in the sense of start here, my loves. Like, start right here. Like, this is the important conversation you are let in on. And the powerful thing is that it's like, but I wanted women to hear, because again, hearing that you're like, oh, that build's going to cost 10 million, that fucking would blow their minds. My own included. I'm like, beautiful. See, that's why I have no ceiling, because I'm around women like you. But also they heard how context, you know, you started when you were 18 and also you've lost, hurt, been traumatized, like all those things. So it's like, you can sit here today as this brilliant woman with all this information that you give away for free and look at where you've come from. And look at who you are. And
I just see so much noise, sorry to interrupt, but on social media too, of people that say things and I'm like, this is pure marketing. And then that's where people are putting their money, because the marketing is great. Whereas I'm not a great marketer, and I know that. And I actually don't care. Like, I know what my strengths are, but I'm like, you guys are literally listening to the wrong people.
Oh, 100%.
And that hurts me, because I'm like, that's hurting so many families. It's hurting, like, it's just hurting. And that's okay. That's their lesson, right? But like, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to pay for it. Yes, an energetic exchange is necessary. But if you need an energetic exchange, then talk to your friends about it.
Yeah.
Share. And I'm not saying to share it for anything. Like, I'm genuinely like, if you need an energetic exchange, which I think is very important for the humans and our brain, and for us to commit to something, like, can you go and give $10 to a homeless person on the street? And that's your exchange to access my learnings. Like, because
you give it, because your masterclasses are free. So you're always like, I get it.
So I'm just trying to say, like, if we don't pay for it, and this, I've struggled with this when I gave it to Anna, when I'm giving it for free, I'm like, I know people aren't going to listen, but I don't want your money. I don't want another company to manage account. Like, I literally have so many companies. I don't need another one where you give me $5 and I don't need that.
Yeah.
It's actually going to cost me more. but I genuinely want you to have it, and you're not even watching it. Unless
I think for you, I think like coaching. No, I think what could be so powerful for you as well, because I know women on this. So the masterclass is amazing because I know you can go deeper and bigger and longer. But I almost feel like you need to just do more lives on your Instagram, and it doesn't matter then if people that
That's
they
so
come.
true, yeah.
Go live more.
Yeah.
Go live. Fuck it. Whoever shows up because like timing and stuff. But your brilliance and your invaluable information is then out there. And then when we do a podcast like this, women will come and find you.
Yeah.
And then it's there.
Yeah.
Because I know how badly you want to give back. And
totally.
And then they will share that. And not that it's not about that for
No,
you.
it's not. But it's like yeah.
But why I say that and why I love that is because then more people again can learn and access it.
And I think too, for me, the biggest thing, and I say share with your friends, because as women, we learn in community.
Yeah. So
like
true.
I learn through stories.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want you to learn. And we have such a taboo, and such a yucky feeling being like, oh, Anna, and Anna openly talks about how much, so, I'm not telling, we're not divulging it here, but it's like, we can honestly talk to each other about the money.
Yeah.
And there is no, I'm not jealous, she's not jealous. There's no emotion. And when you can get to a space like that with your own friends, not only are you up leveling, not only are you helping them to up level, but then you're playing a different game. And then when you play that different game, different opportunities come to you. People always say to me, well, how did you get that? Or how do you know this person? Or I'm like, I just showed up. And also I'm a line 4, right? So it comes naturally to me, but just start and be in the arena, and don't be scared to say to your friend oh, well, last year I made $100,000, but this year I cut back my hours, so my salary is 70. I don't know how to make that extra 30. More brains help. Why do you think I have teams? I can't do this on my own.
Yeah, 100%. Even I don't know, for me, I think as you're talking then, I'm like, even when I lost, I don't know if a lot of women talk about, I mean, we do, again.
We do,
we do. But even when I did lose that, so when I call him fuckhead, that's he who should not be named. But also Trent, because I'm like, I always want people to know that was who it was. But when he saw that 400,000 US, it's worth $1 million right now ish more in this market,
and it's USD. It's...
But I talked about it. I didn't hide it because I was like, this happened, like in essence with that conversation of truth. And I was like, I'm going to earn this back and then some. I want to 10x this. Yeah. I can't do that hiding in the shadows. I can't do that hiding that truth.
Yeah, but when that got taken from you or stolen from you, whatever, if your friend at that point in time had come to you and said, I just made 400K USD, you wouldn't have felt anything. You would have been like, fuck yeah.
How'd you do it? Yeah,
whereas,
fuck yeah.
This is what I want to change with Australians are very bad like that. There's this competition and I know it because I felt it too when I was younger, and it's like the moment that you can stop doing that is the moment that things will shift.
I think as well, and we can end it here, but I think the big thing to tie this off and to bring it back, just as you were saying that, I was like, I said it before, there is no shade or shame in having a job or an extra job or cleaning a toilet.
If I had a job for the last 15 years, I would be richer than I am today. I guarantee you. Please don't be ashamed. JOBs are like the OG.
We need them.
We need them.
Like I say, I thank a cleaner because if they're cleaning, I'm thanking because I'm not cleaning.
I'm going to get a shirt.
Because I'm not cleaning. I always am like, no, we need people in jobs. But that's to say, to end this episode, to be like, there is an economic cycle. We're in it. We're always in one, but right now we're at the point where it's the end of the cycle. Things are going to hurt. There's 4 converging into one event. The number one thing you say is stack cash. I've heard you say it so many times. That's what I'm doing.
Have at least 6 months. Like if you can do 6 months, it's going to last longer. But 6 months allows you and your family to take a deep breath, to calm your nervous system. And when your nervous system is calm, you can make better decisions.
Yeah, beautiful.
More than 6 months is great, but minimum 6. 3 is okay. But yeah.
Which is beautiful. And how to do that? Find more money, right? It was the mindset, but it's also like...
Find more money. Because, yes, you want to spend time with your children. Yes, your children are only going to be 3 or 4 or whatever they are at this point in time. But let me tell you, your children will get more lessons from you working your ass off and showing them the way than you sitting at home stressing and wondering. And I also read some research recently that said mothers who work typically have more successful children.
Oh,
because
100%.
they see the model, they see. Now, if you're a stay-at-home mum and you love it, like, do that, you know? But what I'm saying is, unfortunately, we live in a society where you need a minimum of 2 incomes now. Like, it's just the way it is. And if you have to, you know, like my partner and I, we have worked nonstop for 4 years, and he, you know, was an incredibly massive salary. I have earned good money, you know, even when I lost everything, I was like hustling. Like I had a pack vac. If you don't know what pack vac is, a commercial vacuum cleaner.
That's right.
When I was 6 to 8 months pregnant, and I would have fights with my dad every day because I was like, this is 4 or 5 years ago. I was on the tools. Like, and if I had to be on the tools again, I would.
This is what I always say. I use the example of stacking shelves only because I watched my mum do it.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you. Look at
what happened.
Actually, look at what fucking happened. Like the imprint it made on me. I wasn't embarrassed by that. I was like, my mum is a fucking queen. And today I say this in self-love school all the time. If you're struggling and it's like because you don't have a job or you have a business and you're struggling, go and get a job, in the sense that like, what job? Any job. If you have to clean. If you have to stack a shelf. Someone asked me the other day, if I lost it all, what would I do? I said, I'd go stack shelves.
Yeah. And you know
I
what's
would do
so
whatever
good about
it fucking
stacking
took.
shelves and cleaning is that it's autonomous. No one's in your back. There's no customers.
I can listen to fucking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are getting paid to get educated. And this time of life, there is no excuse not to know anything with the amount of free shit that's out there. Like when I started, everything was minimum $10,000, $5,000 to learn from. Like, whereas now everything I learn's available everywhere.
But it's like me right now. Like I'm, like I said, in that hungry, like education wealth, because I just know what's coming and I can feel it and I can see it and all the things. It's all free. I'm not in a course right now.
No, this is free. Like this whole podcast, you know.
Yeah. And I'll continue to get phenomenal minds and phenomenal voices on to
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
But to help.
We could talk about it forever.
I know. Is there anything else? Because we've done 2 back-to-back episodes.
No, I think I'm
but
good.
like if there's one thing that you wanted to leave them with, like what is that piece?
Okay, there is one thing that I thought about before. If you are around our age, 30s, 40s, don't be scared. If you feel like you're not prepared, there's still time. And this is like you've already lived through one cycle and you're probably going to live through another 1 or 2. And it's okay. Like there is, if I can pick myself back up, then there's no reason why you can't. It's all about determination, just like focusing on where you need to be and, you know, being disciplined and really like, if you want something so bad, you'll go and get it. Like that's just how it is. And if you don't want it so bad, then that's okay too. But, you know, don't bag out the guys that have gotten it, I guess. But yeah, that's the thing. Like this is just one cycle. You've lived through one. You may have experienced, I know some people have a lot of trauma on witnessing their parents go through stuff like that. So like what can you learn from that? But know that there's opportunity. It's not just doom and gloom. There's opportunities coming. And like I know for me, I'm going to be my richest when I get to my 60s and 70s. Not because like I would have accumulated, just because of how wise I would have become and how like I will see things before they happen, and my intuition muscle will be so good that I'd be like boom, boom, boom. So I want to leave you with that. Like it's not over.
It's just beginning.
Yeah,
it's just the beginning. It's that mindset, the beautiful mindset. Well, my darling, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. If you loved Coco, which I know that you will have, I just cannot recommend it enough. Just go follow her. Just go find her on Instagram. She will be doing more lives.
I have been held to account. I can just imagine now in my DMs, I won't get anything then, babe, you haven't lived this week.
You haven't seen a live. I just think you really do. You have such a beautiful innate gift, which comes from lived experience. It comes from that. That it's always this genuine passion to help other people. I see it, I feel it, I get to experience it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Thanks.
And until next time, stay wild.
Bye.